Hello, you're with the Kelly Simmons Book Club, and we're at the melting pot. See all this? See all this? It is delicious. We're at 1219 in Silbert. I'm right here with Kelly Simmons, and she's the author of The Birdhouse, which is a great book. Kelly, can you tell us a little something about yourself?
I wanted to write about a grandmother and granddaughter, as I did in The Birdhouse, because I was very close to my own grandmother growing up. My mother was sick and was agoraphobic and didn't leave the house for 7 or 8 years. And because of that, I fell to the care of my grandmother and grandfather. And it was really close to my maternal grandmother. And she was an absolute pistol and a real straight shooter. And I modeled some traits of the character of Anne in The Birdhouse after my own grandmother, and I wanted to honor our relationship. That's the part about myself that led to The Birdhouse. But the other stuff about me that's relevant, I'm a college dropout, but that does not mean that anyone else should not go to college. I grew up in Chicago, so coming to the Philadelphia area, I find it interesting and fascinating in a way that people that live here probably don't. I'm not from here, and yet I've lived here a very long time. So I find the main line where I live to be a very weird and strange and striated place. It's just the strangest place. And I write a lot about it because of the different social things that happen and the different certain kind of tragedy that happens in a old money society that isn't replicated anywhere else. So I tend to set my books in that area because I find it fascinating. And a lot of times the people that live on the main line do not appreciate it, such as my mother-in-law.
How was everything?
Great, thank you. What's his name again? Justin. Justin was just here and made us hunting. So I've lived on the mainland for 20 years, and I'm sorry, for 10 years. They got me drunk already. I can't remember where I live.
That's why.
I've lived in the Philadelphia area for 20 years, and I've lived on the mainland for 10. My husband is from there, so he's introduced me to this whole world of people that have more breeding than money and have more diamonds than cents and more horses than anything. So it's been fascinating, and that world is really part of what I think makes The Birdhouse come alive. What it's like to have wealth and lose wealth, and it's just fascinating.
I was wondering, it's like, who do we hear choosing?
I know.
And that's very close to home. Anyone who lives in the Philadelphia area, it's like, oh, wow.
I know. It's such a specific place.
Right.
And it's very unchanged. You know, even in the time that I've lived in the area, it's very much the same as it was. You know, when I first moved down, it's probably the same as it was 100 years ago. So things never changed.
Now, what made you
this particular story, which is about the grandmother and the granddaughter getting together and bonding over the school assignment, really came from the school assignment that my own daughter brought home, which was to write about a trait that ran through the family and to interview your grandparents to find that trait or those things that just were handed down through generation. And they're expecting things like the same hobbies and the same recipes and things like that to go through the generation. And I thought when she brought it home, number one, this is too difficult of an assignment for a 5th grader to do, and I will end up doing all the work. Number two, I thought, blow up in your face if you had the wrong grandparent and the wrong kid. You know, the grandparent can be really loose-lipped and the kid can be really curious, and there can be skeletons in the closet. And I thought that would be interesting. I had that thought and I filed it away, and then when I was writing another novel and I just finished it, I wasn't quite sure that was the next novel that I should be writing, even though it was done. And these other ideas kept popping up, and I thought, well, maybe that's the novel I should be writing. I started plotting it out and writing it, and it just felt like It felt like the right thing to do. So I shelved the other novel, which who knows what I'll do with it, and started writing the book.
Now, as a mom, did you find it difficult to write about the death of a child?
Yes. Yes and no. I mean, because I'm a mom, I think I was able to imagine pretty vividly being in the position that Anne is in, where she has had a terrible year and has lost her mother, or losing her mother, and has breast cancer herself, and has, maybe postpartum, and is angry at one of her children. And through no fault of her own, she has all these set of circumstances. So I think I can understand a person being in the position where a child's death is uncomfortable. But, obviously the idea of a child dying and living through it and the pain of that. I actually have a very good friend who, his child did not die in an accident, but he lost a child in infancy, and it was unbelievable to go through with her, to have someone so close and see that kind of rawness. So it helps and it hurts, It wasn't my favorite section of the book to write by any means. And I don't have any experience having children that I don't relate to the way that Anne didn't relate to her first daughter. But I kind of had the experience of being a child in a relationship where the mom didn't quite get her. My mother never really got me. She expected kind of a different kind of kid, and we were very mismatched. And I think that there's something interesting about writing about a parent and child that aren't in sync, and that are really just clash from birth. I mean, I have another friend whose child is just so willful and so against the mother, always. Even when she was a little baby, it seemed that way. Like the birth signs in the line or something. So I think that's fascinating. Not positively, but, negatively fascinating.
I noticed that in your book, one of the things that was running through my mind was, oh, wow, these two are totally different.
They are.
And her mother, though, I wonder how she's going to deal with it. That's not automatically,
Exactly. We're going to do the same things. We're going to go here, we're going to do that. Yep.
She's the total opposite.
Yeah.
And also, what I love about the book is how you can go past the present and how even though the characters of the past are still important throughout the book.
Right.
The mother, her friend Betsy, the lovers, the secret lovers. By you going in and out, you kept them
Right. Yes. Well, thank you. One of the things that was a challenge, and yet one of the things I liked about it was showing how those characters are different 40 years ago than they are today. So even though they're the same, they've evolved quite a bit. So and the memory of what they were like in the current section doesn't really match what the memory was of writing them down 40 years ago. You see a truer sense of what was actually happening. And of course, with Anne, the lead character having a little dementia, you don't really trust anything, So the older section, I think, sheds some light on what has actually happened and helps the reader find their way.
And there's a lot of humor.
Yeah.
And it's like they follow usually when something tragic happens.
Yes.
Which would have been relief.
Yeah.
For example, my favorite one is when she found out she had birth cancer, and she's telling her husband, and he was asking, well, which one?
Yeah. Like you had a favorite.
I read the book, The Laugh on the Train, and I'm cracking up on the train.
So funny. Such a guy thing.
Right. I was like, what? She's right. They probably would ask if she's right.
Yeah. Because I had a favorite. Yeah. Hopefully it wasn't the right one. I like to laugh, and I have a personality that's probably better suited to more of a lighthearted type of writing, and yet I deal with a lot of heavy subjects. I end up fascinated by the heavy subjects, so just really to amuse myself, I think. I like to put the humor in, and I think that people like to laugh.
Oh, yeah.
They like to cry, but they also like to laugh, and I enjoy finding the opportunity to do that.
And also, there's another part here, which also maybe got people laughing. Was the one where she was in the kitchen feeding them, and she had to have bath in like 3 days. That's the title of that chapter. Bath in 3 days. And something was homes are just like great, you know, that and backwards.
There you go.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's real. It's true. Good. Well, I mean, even in tragedy, there's funny things. And stuck in a house with a couple of kids and, you know, cranky college baby, and something that's very anger at the husband, very familiar.
We can always do it.
I guess we can wrap it up.
I mean, you guys don't have.
We have two. We do like two of the couples.
No.
I mean, we can always do a portion of that, which would be just, you know, half the price or whatever. But
I would say two things. One, continue to learn the craft.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody says, oh, write every day. It's the most important thing is to put in the hours and write every day. That's not enough. You need to continue to learn so that when you're writing every day, it's not going to waste. So that you are learning how to form, you know, whatever you're, whether it's a short story or a novel or a memoir, you understand the form a little bit better. And then the other thing I would say is to connect with other writers and to reach out and join a network of other writers, because that is so helpful to me, even as a published author. And we actually run coffee houses and stuff. I'm with a group of authors called the Liars Club, and we run coffee houses to try to help aspiring writers. In fact, there's another one coming up tomorrow. But just because it's so hard for everybody to find each other, and we can all help.
All of that, yeah. And if
Learn.
you didn't want that, you don't want the twin or something, you can always substitute. So.
Appreciate
The only thing I would do would be an extra line.
Alright, so we'll see you next time. We'll be discussing, I'm not sure, the book.
Oh, she wants you to show the drink. No.
And we just spoke with Kelly Simmons, and we discussed her book titled The Birdhouse.
But you want to show the other book? Wait.
Oh, and wait, she has another book that's coming out. So,
It's like a little square.
here's my first one.
Wow.
Oh, she's gonna get first.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Not nearly as good.
You have another thing that's called book ad. Was that a joke?
No, that was the title, but it's the changeable baby.
Oh, the baby.
Yeah. Well, better title. Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. So it's not done yet, but it's in process.
Are you gonna tell us about it?
Sure. And again, I don't know if that's going to be the next book that the agent picks. I have several that are in various stages, so she can pick what she wants. But it's about a mom whose daughter gives birth in secret, and the boyfriend of the daughter, she hates, shows up with a half-dead baby in the middle of the night, and that's how she finds out that her daughter just had a baby.
Wow.
16-year-old daughter. So, and then all hell breaks loose. So, yeah.
Wow.
I know. My worst nightmare, honestly, 3 daughters in high school. But it was interesting to explore.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Can't wait.
All right, and thanks again. Tune in next time.
Where you going?